Phenomena. Phenomena.
And my neighbors are jamming. Can't be mad at them. Hopefully this is working. If it's not, I apologize because I'm beyond frustrated right now. Technology is not our friends, but as promised at tea time, I am back. We are broadcasting on Twitch, Periscope, and Facebook, so feel free to comment on one of those. This is my dear co-host Bill Octor, also known as ArchaeoThoughts on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Twitch.
And yeah.
So, tip. Yeah, so there we go. And today we are watching the second episode of The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. Last episode, actually I might back this up so people can catch up on the crazy crap that did not happen last episode.
You sped it up last week because it seemed like it took forever.
Oh, I did speed it up last week, didn't I? I changed my mind. I am going to speed it up. Maybe.
So for those who are watching, which wouldn't...
currently isn't many.
Which you wouldn't have seen us with the first video because that's not coming out until a few days after this. It has to do... It's really secret. Well, I'm currently hiding in the control room.
Yes.
On Skinwalker Ranch. Last week, first episode, I was just outside the gates.
Right.
I managed to infiltrate, get past Dragon.
Dragon.
And I'm in the room, and I'm looking for other boxes. And you will know what I'm talking about once the actual show starts.
Ah, the boxes.
If you're confused.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the previously will get us caught up, but in the meantime, if the audio gets too loud for you to maintain your secrecy, Bill, let me know.
Okay,
and
I'll let you know.
We'll just wish you good luck. I was just checking the chat to make sure it was... Excuse me, nobody's being missed. Alright. So, and I am filming from clearly just outside of these wonderful ruins. I'm going to say this is structure or Homestead C on the ranch. So this is Homestead C is going to be our HQ. I also think it's the haunted one.
If you watched us last week, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I apologize that these are behind as they are, but YouTube won't let me live stream live reactions to History Channel shows because of copyright, and I can't afford to have a copyright strike this early in my channel's career. So, if you want to rewatch this on YouTube later, it will be posted, but it will be edited. So if you want the full experience, you gotta watch it now. Can you understand it?
Taylor, I was invited to...
Could I understand it last time?
Do you need me to slow it down? Because I will.
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Investigate this area known as Skinwalker Ranch. We've verified and documented everything from UFO sightings to these columns of light above the mesa, and even cattle mutilations. Let's go up the mountain. Look at that. Microwaves like that.
What did the cattle do?
If you want a phenomenon to manifest itself, you go and dig something. When you dig,
I was digging, my scalp is separated from my skull.
you're in the apartment, I have to unequivocally say, no digging.
Okay, so the guy saying no digging is Dragon. He's no dig Dragon.
No dig Dragon.
I really liked that from last episode, so. Alright. Questions, comments before we get into the new episode?
Hold on. I need to see the pop some wires.
You're having too much fun with this. I appreciate it.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, let's do this. Maybe. God damn it. I got too many windows open. That's the real problem here. Too many windows!
There's a ranch in northern Utah. It is considered the
It's like northeast Utah.
The most disturbing phenomenon on Earth. Animal mutilations, bizarre UFO sightings, and unusual energies that have proven harmful to humans. For 20 years,
There is no correlation established at any point in last episode to connect any of those things that they just made it sound like are all connected, because they're not. And that was a really cute editing trick that they just pulled, but none of that crap has been connected or shown to correlate in any way, shape, or form. Just FYI.
federal government tried to find answers and failed. Now, a new team of dedicated scientists, researchers, and experts has taken over. They are determined to solve the mystery and reveal
What's the mystery? We don't really quite know what the mystery is.
That's the mystery.
Hey, Brandon. Greetings, team. Glad that you passed me in, and I'm wondering how the investigation is progressing.
Wow, this really is just going to be a
One of the first things
replay.
the guys want to do is they want to dig.
You know, I'm not sure I'm comfortable.
I'll be right back,
with that.
but keep watching.
Certain risks
Okay.
you just haven't been properly briefed on.
Well, we need to be briefed on that data then.
I understand. Eric, show them what is in the case. Regrettably, I have to go to a meeting, so I'll look for your update later. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Brandon.
Okay.
Regrettably, I have to run away because they didn't pay me enough to be in this
I came
scene.
into this saying, look, guys, we're going to follow the scientific method. You can't keep data away from the experiment and not show the rest of the team in order for it to be a good experiment.
I feel like they need like the Imperial March
So what I'm
here.
going to show you may offer an explanation for some of what we've been seeing on the property. You'll understand as soon as I open this up. You might recognize it. It's the very large neodymium magnet.
It's like a China Central magnet.
Yes, it's capable of exerting quite a bit of force.
Yeah, I mean, you can lose a finger on a magnet like that.
Yeah.
A neodymium magnet is a magnet that's made out of neodymium, iron, and boron, and is a really powerful magnet. But when Eric opens up this case and he shows us this magnet, I'm looking at this thinking, what does this have to do with not digging on the ranch?
I'm confused. Comments? How does the
You know
machinery...
what? I am surprised.
Fair. That is
It
fair.
did surprise me.
Yep. Yeah, I was not expecting a giant magnet.
The importance of this object gives us a way to reproduce some of the effects that we've seen on the property ongoing.
How did you reproduce the effect?
I can actually show it to you.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Now, these guys have seen it, but if you'd like, we can go in.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. Sure.
But it doesn't look like the scientist knows what you're talking about either.
So, guys, what you see right there, that's actually a still shot from a video that I made the first time I came to this ranch.
From your phone?
From the phone. When I went to the top of Mesa, I was getting an artifact like this. It was when we got down to Homestead 2, it finally cleared up and I was able to take another picture. So the question I have is, well, what would it take to make that happen?
Right.
Can I reproduce that effect?
Before I came to Skinwalker Ranch, I'd heard that in addition to UFO sightings and animal mutilations, there are also a lot of strange electrical phenomena, like cell phones and electronics that just suddenly wouldn't work.
Down here on the countertop, what I've got is a second magnet. This fixture lets us do this in a more controlled fashion. We're gonna
This guy just likes making things. That's like his shtick. He's the builder.
Well, he's the physicist. He's the.
No, he's the PI.
Oh,
Now, this guy's the
oh,
PI.
he's the PI.
He has no qualifications as far as I'm aware.
A geophysicist.
Oh, he is a geophysicist.
No. They need one.
Yeah, they do. And an archaeologist.
If they suspect there's magnetic activity in the landform, they could have tested it on the landform.
But then he wouldn't have been able to build his contraption to house this giant magnet. How is that not wiping all of the shit in that room? How is that magnet not screwing this shit up?
I have no idea. It also makes me wonder, you know, all they did was Google, what could mess up my digital camera?
Right?
And they got the first thing on there, most likely it would be some sort of electromagnetic activity. They didn't
Ghosts.
bother to read the other 10 or 20 reasons.
Well, I can't get a phone signal out here in the middle of nowhere, where we've already
Well, like-
established there's no booster signal, there's no booster towers to get the signal to your phone.
Change your batteries, maybe there's software that needs an update.
Maybe you just suck at taking pictures on your phone.
Maybe you suck at taking pictures.
Man.
Pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, very interesting. Not exactly sure what it all means just yet.
Yeah, and what has given me pause is whatever is generating the malfunction on our devices is related to your injury and to the other unpleasant experiences that people have had on this property. A couple of years ago,
You have no reason to correlate any of those things.
I'm still in the control room, and I'm trying to see where they got that from.
That giant leap or the giant magnet?
The giant leap.
It's in another box. Keep looking for the box.
They're not talking about anything.
It's gonna be like this again. I mean, remember the last 10, 15 minutes of show? Yes, last time was like this. It's like watching a D&D group try to decide how they're going to infiltrate something.
Yeah, this is just watching D&D groups plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not do anything, just plan.
They're just planning. They're just checking and making sure they've all got their skill sets and the stuff that they need and asking the GM questions.
And you're arguing over whether or not they can climb over a 12-foot hole or a 10-foot hole. What, do they have the right kind of rope? Is it hemp or is it cotton?
Do they need a ladder? Will the ladder help? Because he's got a ladder.
Well, you remember the last time we tried to go break into a house, I fell off the wall.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall off the wall again.
I am interested to see how the machine gun welding droid is going to work. Drone. I'm coming up with ideas on how that can screw up, so just FYI, my players. Oh, you weren't there for Droney, that's right. You haven't met Droney there. Friday.
So how many people actually have access to the ranch?
very few. We do our very best to try to keep.
They have a dog running alongside that thing, barking at them.
So actually today it's got the team out there doing a radiation sweep and the RF sweep.
Good. Following our discussion at the command center yesterday, we invited 2 different companies up to the ranch. The first will look for dangerous levels of radiation, and the second will look for microwaves. Now, if everything checks out, then we'll be safe to conduct some more focused experiments and find out where the strange electromagnetic energy on the ranch is coming from.
If both of those two groups come up with nothing, doesn't that just nullify all of the arguments that they've made to this point?
Maybe it's at such a level they can't be detected by our mere human technology.
But then why is it messing up our human technology? Clearly it's being detected.
No, phones, cameras are awesome. Cameras are universal. That's the first sign of intelligent life.
Is they fuck up your camera?
If UFOs show up before the camera, you don't have any pictures of it, do you?
Okay. There's a logic there somewhere.
Have I mentioned I haven't eaten or slept in the last 3 days in this little control room?
I told you, save your urine. You can be drinking, you can have like a cup of it a day, you'll be fine.
It's over there in the corner. I can bring it over just to show.
I can bring it over. I've been saving it for you. It's terrifying.
Yeah, Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, the sinkhole doing this radiation sweep. You guys should get just straight over here. He found some crazy stuff you're gonna want to see.
Where are they? Why aren't they with the survey groups?
While Tom Winterton and I are taking a tour of the ranch, we get this emergency call, and it's from the team that's up on the mesa scanning for harmful levels of radiation and microwaves.
All right, we will head straight over there. You'll see us soon.
I thought they were looking for microwaves or radiation. I thought there were 2 teams. One was looking for one was looking for the other. And why are they taking a tour of the ranch? Why aren't they with the people doing the survey?
And do the people doing the survey not have their own precautions?
Or radios?
My first thought was whether or not the guy was getting the kinds of crazy readings we measured yesterday when we were up on the mesa.
He didn't measure crazy readings.
That's a significant amount of energy right there. We found electromagnetic radiation that could be harmful to humans. Oh! And it's shifted now. Now it's going in that direction. And it's all radiation. Yes.
Oh yeah, what they're not admitting what they're not reminding people of anymore is that this particular location is immediately in the drift zone of the atomic tests from the 1950s? 40s?
It was throughout the 50s, yeah, late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah, so they're actually downwind of all of that fallout. So there's literally radioactive fallout in the area, like where they're at. They've conveniently stopped mentioning that again. But anyway.
We gotta walk from here on.
Yeah, okay.
Well, at least Joe is entertained, and that makes me happy. Seriously, I'm glad you're entertained. Keep talking
The
to
sinkhole driver,
us.
obviously Thomas knows. These guys picked up stuff I thought you guys would be interested in seeing yourselves.
Wow.
Look, it's a hole in the ground.
Oh, that's him down in there. How far does it go? It goes down quite a ways. We get up there, and there's a hole in the ground. It's kind of like a little cave, and it's big enough for 3 or 4 people to get down in.
This one is interesting just because air flows out of it and things like that.
Yeah, you can feel it.
It's called a
We had a few
cave.
people that climbed down in that hole and experienced some pretty extreme vertigo and nauseousness.
So you knew it was there.
It's a spot that I found one day when I was hiking up above Homestead 2, and the thing that made it remarkable the first time I found it was there is a cavity that continues down. We've been trying to figure out how far down there it goes, and it was just blasting cold air, just like an air conditioner. Myself, as well as several other individuals that I was there to witness, have had experiences when we climbed down inside that hole. You know, I kind of shrugged it off as heat stroke at the time, but then other individuals that we've taken up there since then have experienced the same thing.
Jeff is with Semper, and he's measuring radio wave frequencies and things like
Why are we
that. Travis and
talking
Casey are with
about
Baltec.
this? If he already knew what this was.
There's... If I... Yeah, right, exactly.
Landform. It appears to be created of a lot of broken bolt.
I mean, I don't doubt that it's a
You can easily
cave.
imagine, but you can easily imagine there's going to be cracks enough for air.
I mean,
Because it's porous. I mean, they're all just sort of locked on top of each other.
yeah, and if
And
it...
there are going to be cavities.
Yeah. And the air underneath... The air in the ground is going to be colder than the air in the desert because it's going to be colder in general. There's a reason why we used to store food in caves because it's naturally colder. We're not going
Like
to...
the feelings of vertigo. It gets a million different reasons.
I mean, it could be bad air. There's a reason why they used to take canaries into coal mines. The air can be bad, and that means it's just like trapped gases. So yeah, you're probably inhaling something you shouldn't be smelling, like, I don't know, methane. You know. Grr.
So it's not a problem.
Basically.
Because if it was, they wouldn't let it in.
Basically.
You want to send in the O2 sensor first? Makes the most safety sense.
I think that's smart. I like not dying.
Yeah, an O2 sensor...
Since nobody in here is practicing good safety.
Yeah, there's no safety gear at all involved in this, and yeah, no. Also, a CO2 sensor is detecting carbon monoxide, which is odorless, and will knock your ass out. It can kill you if you inhale too much of it. So, basically everything Bill and I just said, they just repeated in their own way, and this is nothing. Like, you can have holes that aren't man-made. That's a thing that can happen in nature.
And you can look at a hole, and it looks like it's the same air as you have out here, but it could be different.
Yeah. This is the same area they drill for uranium, people. I mean, there's nothing they have said here is surprising. If you understand the area and the natural landscape, there's nothing surprising happening here. But they're sure playing it up like there is.
So even though we're kind of in a desert region, so far this show is a really big fishing expedition.
Right?
Because they are not looking for anything in particular.
No, and they're just
They're
kind of
looking
all
for
over the
anything they can
place.
find.
And there's nothing systematic about this. Like, they didn't... As far as I know, there's no grid. They're not recording this data, or they haven't mentioned how they're recording it and how they're going to use it later. There's no... Like Bill was saying, there's no safety gear here. I don't under... They're not even wearing gloves, which would be the first thing I would have put on before I went into a cave. And if there's weird gases at lethal levels that are coming out of a hole, why aren't you taking in a ventilator or a breathing mask or something to keep you from dying? So clearly this is all just a bunch of BS.
It's unfortunate. It's the kind of thing you see in these shows. Endangerment theater.
Yeah, but it can't be that dangerous because, like, legally they would be responsible if something were to happen, so there's no way that they would do that. So you know it's completely safe.
That's why it's theater.
Anyway. We're almost halfway through this.
I clearly see some spikes forming. I've got some
Okay.
sure do.
Yeah.
So right.
The dude holding the thing almost looked like he was smiling, like he knows how ridiculous this is.
If I hold this down by the source of the gas, it suddenly spikes. Uh-huh. That's what happens. Do you know what kind of... Have they figured out what kind of gas it is yet? So just...
Well, they were talking about stuff like benzene, I think they had mentioned.
Benzene.
And some other ones, and it could be natural, or is it not natural, and how did it get here?
Oh, and I think he's actually holding a binder.
Ooh,
There you go,
cool
Joe.
data.
He's got a binder. Where's my pointer? Binder! This is gonna be like the backpack alert. Dude, none of them have backpacks!
So you know they're not serious.
Scott Walter would be ashamed. Ashamed!
Exactly.
Gee, somebody suggested that you might feel lightheaded when you go into the little tiny hole. And now you're feeling lightheaded now that you're in the little tiny hole, even though none of the sensors are reading anything weird. Suggestive.
What? And they got over reading the RF thing when they were touching the hole. Okay. I've used metal detectors. It's another device looking for electromagnetic.
True.
Now, when I'm using them on the ground, if I hit something, like whether it's a stick or my foot or a stone, for a brief moment, the machine will act like it got a reading.
Because you're messing with the calibration by knocking it against something.
Because you smacked it.
Yeah. Ye old technical tap.
That's why those devices, those RF devices, are meant to be held up.
Not down.
Because they're looking for RF signatures for like cell towers and other antennas.
Now that you mention that, why are they taking it in there? There's nothing for it to read.
Well, yeah, there's also another weird thing of why would we suspect that RF signatures are emanating from the ground?
Oh, well,
rather than maybe coming from an outside source.
Because in Antarctica, I learned this on Ancient Aliens. In Antarctica, there's a hole in the ground that you can clearly see from satellites and could be nothing else except man-made, that apparently has radio signals coming out of it as if they are being broadcasted.
Is that where the jungle is, where the dinosaurs live?
Honestly, yes. That was also explored in an Ancient Aliens episode.
I just want to make sure we were on the same page.
Yes, we are on the same page, and so is Ancient Aliens. And apparently so are these people. They are clearly doing the whole there must be buried aliens to be producing this signal. Anyway.
This is here, but there are no guarantees here. And no one knows that better than Tom.
You guys got all the measurements that y'all plan to take up here, right?
We got a good surveillance of the entire ranch at this point.
Really? Because the entire ranch is a large area.
And then we can get some further analysis and try
They
to...
did all
some deeper details.
Let's go look at that.
30 some odd acres in a single day walking around.
Not even a single day. They're like, the sun angle hasn't really changed much.
And they hardly look like they're even sweating.
Yeah, Joe was pointing out that they're way too clean. There's no way they've surveyed this whole ranch. There's just no way.
They might have been sitting in a trailer at the bottom of the hill, then walked up.
They've been doing carcheology.
Time to shoot. Well, we know the other group did because they drove their Jeep up.
That's true. All right. So we're gonna take them at their word that they actually did survey, even though I'm calling a hard yellow flag on that one. Orange. It's an orange flag.
Mystery hole requires a geologist.
Yeah, and we don't even know, like, how these guys are qualified. Like, who are they? What company do they work for? How are they qualified? If they were on tap, why haven't they done this before? Have they surveyed before? And they have previous... I mean, maybe this was the last piece of the ranch that they needed to survey after a long ongoing survey that they have previously done to this point. We don't know any of this, and it's not being offered up as information either. So.
We got a mystery hole.
Yeah. Mystery hole.
Just start digging it and just make a couple
Convinced the word came over me while I was down in the cave.
Just go chisel that hole open a little bit further. It'll be fine. Drop a match down there. Nothing bad will happen.
Mr. Bigelow and his team studied and reported on the ranch remains either classified or confidential and is locked away.
He's a private citizen. It's not classified.
You guys got everything?
Thank you.
If we don't, it's a long way back.
You can't classify shit as top secret unless you're the government, which implies the government is involved, which they will tell you is not true, so it's not
All
classified.
you have to do is ask him.
Confidential, perhaps.
Are they walking out with like folding chairs?
I don't know. This is the first time I've seen Dragon without a gun, so I don't know. Is that Dragon? The Dragon or the PI? That's the P. No, the
That's superintendent.
That's Thomas.
That's Tom. Yeah.
Tom. I'm so giving Tom crap from here on out. Anyway.
Later that day, after we got the all clear that the ranch was safe to explore,
Dragon, I guess I'll ride with you.
How long have you people been there without an all clear?
fashion stakeout near the mesa. And from what I've observed, the mesa is pretty much ground zero for most of the strange activity that's been happening on the ranch. So we're all
Because, you know, astrophysicists are known for their stakeouts.
hoping that by staying up all night, we'll be able to see and record firsthand strange lights and glow effects that people have reported seeing over the years.
It's a good spot, Zane. First, we'll see the mesa. The moon's going to be giving us some backlighting. Just start grabbing stuff out, putting it up.
It's a full moon, Bill. It's a full moon.
They were folding chairs.
Let's start hooking up these.
They were folding chairs. You were correct.
Sound system set up.
We have a lot of diagnostic equipment. We can measure radio and microwaves. We can measure magnetic field. We can measure infrared. We've got a lot of different things that we're going to use tonight and see what we find out.
You can collect as much data as you want. Unless you have an idea of what that data is going to tell you, you're just pissing in the wind with really expensive wiener holders.
All right, yeah. So here's like a really quick way this thing works. First, you need a question.
Right.
Then you need to develop a methodology that can test that question. Once you've done that, then you look for the equipment that's going to help assist the methodology, which is going to answer or disprove the question. You don't start with step 3.
I mean, this is my problem with ghost hunting. Because ghost hunting,
Question here.
yeah, it starts with 3. It starts on 3 and goes to 4, which is conclusions. And there's, you can't draw a conclusion. You didn't have a question. What are you concluding?
Only ones who can skip steps are the underwear gnomes.
The underwear gnomes. Wow. That's
Steal
frightening.
underwear. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Profit.
Profit.
This is fucking weird.
This is a show about nothing. I thought Seinfeld was a show about nothing. But this really is a show about nothing.
Yeah, I think there's more of a plot in Oak Island so far that I've watched, which is only the first season.
And if you dig in a hole,
Yeah, and even they've got
that's
a,
lots of plot.
they've got more going on for them than this show. This show is just so all over the place. And God, we're only halfway through it. All right, we can do this. 20 more minutes. We got this.
Information we can get, and he certainly would be able to investigate it as quickly as we can.
Well, certainly.
Let's bring the lights down now. And let's start looking at the mesa in the infrared. That is so cool. That is really cool.
I mean, I'm not denying that the equipment they have is neat, but
But by using an infrared camera, we're going to be able to see things that are further out on that spectrum that we otherwise might not be able to see with our naked eyes.
That monitor is so big. The light pollution.
yeah.
Thing, let alone the radiation from the mic.
And they've got a satellite dish out there too, so that's pumping out some shit. And the
Really
radio,
close to the monitor.
And the radio telescope that they pulled out, because that's not a normal telescope. It's
And I bet they're all within proximity to. And I'm sure they didn't test their RF switches when they were turning these machines on, just to make sure they weren't interfering with each other.
well, and you can clearly see there's a camera crew there, because that light that's being shined on the screen right now is coming from somewhere, and they turned off all their lights. So that's from the camera crew. Just saying.
So there's a lot of ambient electromagnetic activity going on right in that base camp.
And I haven't heard anything about them controlling for any of it, like taking prior readings so that they have a baseline for what they're getting ready to examine. There's no talk about that. So
We're having once they've done that, having somebody 50 feet, 100 feet away from them by themselves so they can see if there's discrepancy.
right.
When we shined the laser on the mesa and saw it in the image of the camera, we also noticed there was a smaller image just above it.
That is so weird.
Do you want to go for this one?
Yeah, they're seeing this on the camera, not with their naked eyes, right?
Yeah.
So the first option is this is a reflection off the camera right back to the mesa, because what they were shooting seemed to be a very powerful laser. Otherwise, it's just a reflection there.
It's just reflection. It's all that.
It's a reflection.
It's all that light pollution Bill was just talking about. They're creating anomalies because they don't know what they're doing, and they didn't control for any of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, they didn't control for the weather that night. They weren't worried about what kind of humidity they had, how much water was in the atmosphere.
I mean, there's a reason why you can't do certain types of ground penetrating radars after rain and stuff, because the water will bounce the signal back up and it's useless.
And it's nothing special when it is absolutely mimicking.
Yeah, exactly. It's clearly a I mean, maybe they'll come to that conclusion on their own, but oh, it's raining outside. It's probably a rainbow.
What the heck is that?
You know what it is? It's reflecting off of the surface.
How is it doing that?
I just
Also, why, once again, hard to control and observation, why wasn't there somebody at the mesa to confirm any phenomena that were being viewed through equipment?
I mean, they clearly have the manpower or the ability to hire the manpower to cover that. Oh my god, we're never getting through this stupid thing, are we?
There are these little white discs everywhere. I don't know what it is.
Micah.
You're getting...
Here, this takes 2 seconds. Turn off your headlamps. Turn the light back on. Do you see anything?
No, Bill, that's not how that works. We have to take completely different equipment out there and try to half-assedly recreate the phenomena that we saw using completely different circumstances. It's the only way to verify this.
And I don't want to see this astrophysicist embarrass himself clumsily trying to explain soil science.
I don't even think he's going to try. Like, that didn't even sound like an attempt. That was like, this is their soil. It's got some stuff in it. It's called mica, probably. Or quartz. I mean, probably both, maybe, possibly. Feldspar. Anyway.
I did before. It's right here, right?
Yeah.
Until I came to the ranch, I didn't really believe the stories I'd heard about strange lights coming off the mesa. Now I'm seeing this thing glow at night with my own eyes. This isn't just a story. This isn't some special effect or a hoax. This mesa is really glowing.
So, you know what we should do is we should scan across the mesa and see if we see something else with the camera.
Well, we better hurry because the sun's
coming
going
It's
to
coming up soon. Yeah. All right.
Because you wasted all night driving to the mesa.
Gee, I wonder why the mesa's slowly getting lighter if the sun is coming up. They do understand how light travels, right?
But that's the opposite direction. And they also mentioned that the moon is very full tonight. So, do you not understand the moon also moves?
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is like the point where I get.
We still haven't disputed the, the used car lot.
There probably is a used car lot over there, too. You know what it is? And this is me just completely making shit up, but it's actually all them there Navajo that they keep talking about, just fucking with them.
Trying to chase them off the land. Like, we're gonna scare these, right off.
Scare these white boys off. Them city folk. God. Anyway.
Let's do that.
Are they just putting tinfoil on a board?
Yeah, they're now going to try something.
Are they?
Instead of driving up there and looking at it.
Clearly they can drive up there. They've shown that they can.
Really fast while the sun's coming up.
Right?
The infrared monitor is connected to any kind of RF or radio frequency radiation. This experiment will help us determine the direction of the radiation that we're detecting now, and maybe help us find the direction of the source.
All right,
How?
so I would say we hold it up about waist high. Right, that's good. Now, Jim, there you go. All right. Sweet. There you go, good. And keep sweeping, starts dropping off. Right?
The tri-field meters are little RF radios with a little antenna, just like your FM and AM radio in your car or at home or wherever. It's a tuner.
Yep, it's dropping. All right, so it's not coming from that direction, so let's go the other way. Rotate the other way now.
Yeah.
They're using it as an amplifier for their little handheld devices.
Should it have been shaped in a cone?
Right? And worn on the head.
That kind of could have fit in. That way that they wouldn't have to worry about carrying it.
They then become the amplifier.
Yes.
Tell us kind of the direction the big fields are coming from. I mean, it's coming from that direction where we saw that beam.
That's pretty significant right there.
That's not how that works.
We're measuring nearly 10 milliwatts per meter squared. The microwave spikes that we're reading are getting on the level of standing by the microwave a few feet with the door open, but it's still working. That's dangerous levels.
Yeah, what was that beam that we saw?
What was that beam? There's something here on this ranch that's broadcasting microwaves, and they at times reach powers that's like a microwave oven.
And it's not Wi-Fi, it's not normal
It's not cell phones, it's not, yeah, it's
You have no idea because you haven't ruled any of that out.
Can we, fire the physicist here? And
The
hire some
scientist?
That understand and some that understand microwaves, since it appears to be microwaves are the actual issue. And they don't have to build at-home experimental devices. They can find the sources of these microwaves.
There's equipment you could use that would be a hell of a lot more accurate, and you don't have to wait till the dead of night to use it. Yep.
Where is it coming from?
Don't care. Credits. Alright.
We don't know what's going to happen next week.
Do you really want me to play the last minute and a half of it? Minute.
No, instead I'm going to go over the one and only Reddit thread about episode 2.
Clearly it's still popular on Reddit.
The problem with the science on Skinwalker Ranch. Let me start by saying I am not saying anything has or has not, will or won't happen at the ranch. I have no problem with anyone believing whatever they want at the land. But I have problems with science to show. I am a geologist at the University of Utah. This to say, I am very familiar with the rocks in the area to the point of our field camps was on the exact same rock layer the ranch contains, as well as the hazards of the region. My father, who I watched the show with, is a retired electrical engineer specializing in microwaves and radio waves, who since his retirement has become an international syndicated photographer. I give you this very long-winded background or qualifications because there are 4 major things that we have problems with from this last episode.
Only 4?
2 of which are very blatant misuse of data, and 2 that we believe to be downright fake. The first is how they portrayed VOCS. According to the show, they had in the ballpark of 3,200 ppb which is the wrong format for the information. So not off to a great start. The level should be denoted in ppm at 3.2 ppm. They did not show us the tech. They got to get this. But there are really only two up. Either they had a spectrometer, in which case there are only a few VOCs, which this level would be high enough to raise any problems. It is quite normal to see in this part of the world. Or what I suspect, they measured the total VOC, which the only people that use total VOC are people who sell air purifiers.
Good to know.
To the point that no scientific body, to my knowledge, has set a safety limit of total VOC. Since, as I said before, there are over 1,000 different VOCs, each with different safe levels. So the total safe level can change drastically based on which chemicals are volatized. The only safety scale that I questioned this guy's stuff here, writing this, because he's not using periods in his sentences.
He's not using what?
Periods in his sentences.
Oh, I hate that.
It's just fun. Alright, anyway, where was I?
Yeah, that's usually a red flag. No punctuation. Are they capitalized?
Let's go on to the second issue. No caps. The measurement of radio waves. To start, every single radio wave measuring device in the world is orthogonal. So the aluminum foil reflector is unnecessary. Oh, meaning it's going to point in a direction.
Right.
And most likely would have invalidated the equipment. With the poor quality of the reflector they made and the crude measuring, it's impossible to know how much of the radio wave it would have bounced back into the reader against it, again invalidating the equipment. But in any case, that does not change how bad and wrong the host's explanation of it at the end. He very clearly stated that they were getting a measurement of 10 MW over M squared, and he very clearly said that was dangerous level. The safe level for radio wave is 10 MW over TM squared. For those who missed, that's the exact same thing.
So it was safe.
If you go, it's the exact same as safe radio wave. If you go by what he said, they got a 0.001 MW over CM2 squared, which is well below safe limits and is one of the quietest places in the world. Which makes sense, since as there is a radio testing facility 50 miles from the ranch that was built there because the area is so quiet. Okay. And you could also get microwaves because towers send microwaves to other towers.
So they're getting interference from all of the other technology that's around them that they have neglected to mention is there.
Well, it's not that much, really, because it isn't a quiet spot.
That's true.
Which means anything stands out.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so now on to what they believe to be fake. At the very end, they show the flashing mountains. The entire frame is slowly flashing. We come up with two ways that could produce this effect. Either they are turning the white balance up and down, which would explain why the clouds show up a larger change than the rocks do. Or every professional cameraman will have some sort of polarized light filter on their camera. All they would need to do is have the cameraman rotate the filter, and it would create the exact effect we see on the screen.
Wow.
The final problem we have is with the laser beam that shoots up the hill. Lasers are designed so that all of the light coming out of it goes in the exact same direction. So that's impossible to achieve, so you will get a tiny amount of spread. But at that distance, they are shooting that beam, they are not going to get anywhere close to the amount of spread that shows on the hill.
Thank you.
That's what I talked about where he's standing, and it looks to be about 1.5 feet diameter.
Yeah.
That's just too big of a
Yeah.
spot there. So they recreated it with
a different light.
Because most likely it was not that was visible. They couldn't find it,
Right.
or it wasn't photogenic.
Probably wasn't photogenic enough, and so they fucked with it. Well, so what do we think of episode 2?
I got to find my way off this hellhole.
Did you not take enough rations? Do you need some more MREs?
No. I'm gonna go hit the break room.
Raid the break room when no one's looking?
I realized after the second day, I can just walk around. Nobody knows who anybody's name is around here, so they just assume you work here.
You're just telling everybody your name's Dragon?
Yeah. I confused Dragon the first time, but he's okay with it now.
Wait, okay, hey.
Wait a minute, if I'm you, then I trust you.
I know, right? I could see that working on that poor guy, the way he's being portrayed. Anyway, this show is really slow, and
it is. I mean, if I'm judging this from Reddit, they're not catching fire.
Oh, they're yeah. I'm sure Jason has view numbers because he's been tracking that on a lot of the shows that he reviews now. So I will be interested to see how the view numbers are plummeting. And considering most of us can't go anywhere right now, getting eyeballs on the screen shouldn't be difficult. So that'll tell you a lot.
I mean, who's their lead-in?
I don't know, because I only watch this on the internet.
It's a Tuesday at 10, I think.
Yeah, it's a terrible time slot on top of everything else. Thank you,
but
Joe.
A strong lead-in at 9.
It's probably either Oak Island or Aliens. It's History Channel. Maybe Nazis?
Well, if it's Oak Island, they might get, it's the target demographic fell asleep, left TV on.
I mean, yeah. This is... I don't know. It's a very slow show. They have a lot of what I would consider dead air on this show. If I were GMing this session, I would have prodded the hell out of my players to make a decision, as I have done, and will continue to do, because this is boring, and shit has to be done.
I don't know how many episodes they were scheduled to do.
6?
But I'm going to guess they've cut 3 off.
Or they'll only release them online. They've done that before in the past, too. So... Alright, final thoughts?
Because the pacing is horrible.
The pacing's terrible. It's not suspenseful at all. And the cliffhanger episode, the cliffhanger bullshit is just... no one cares.
I mean, the way they framed it, dude's got a headache.
Yeah. I mean... and there's any number of reasons why the guy has a headache. And there's also no correlation between the weird swelling thing that happened to his head and anything that happened out there.
I mean, what are they trying for? Supernatural?
They don't even know.
Alien?
They're all over the damn place. The only thing that they have the only 2 things they have consistently stuck with is alien sightings, but no alien contact, just alien sightings, and this Navajo curse on the land. Those are the only two things that they have. Now, they've only been 2 episodes, but they're consistent with those 2 theories in exclusion to everything else. That and shadow people out at Homestead 2.
Yeah, but that was only sort of dropped. That wasn't really dwelled on.
Yeah, they really didn't do much to explore on that.
But there was one thing they are consistent with. Phenomenon.
Phenomenon. I wonder if I can get that and use that as intro music. Or maybe I could just record myself doing it, and then it's copyright free because it's me. Alright, Bill.
But that's parody.
Yeah. Parody's covered by copyright. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this. I hope to see you again next Wednesday when we try to watch episode 3. Until you give up on this, I'm going to continue to inflict this on you because it makes me feel better. And I hope everybody who was watching enjoyed this. And like I said, an edited version of this will be up on YouTube in a few weeks. So a week, 2 weeks, because I'm going to put the first episode up today, or Friday. Anyway, talk to everybody later. Bill, thank you again, and see everybody at tea tomorrow at 3.
Phenomena. Phenomena. Phenomena.